no journey is going to be smooth. So obviously, whatever happens, just think of a goal in mind, have a dream board, whatever it may be. Success means having the freedom of time. So doing what you want, when you want, with who you want. Money helps you to get there. Property is giving me the freedom of time. You have to do what I want, when I want, with who I want.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Need to Succeed podcast, where we have incredible conversations with phenomenal entrepreneurs just to understand what is their need to succeed, right? Because here's the thing. Two people can go through the exact same situation. One person decides because of that situation, they can no longer achieve the things that they want to achieve in life. The other person decides because of the exact same situation that they absolutely have to achieve everything that they want to achieve in life. Same situation, different outcomes. What is the mindset of the successful entrepreneur? And that is exactly what we look to uncover on this podcast. And today we have an absolutely incredible guest. I was just saying to him, like, bro, you've been doing this for a minute, right? A lot of us are just kind of coming to the game now. We're doing this property thing, but like, he's been doing this for a minute. He is the main man when it comes to leases in the UK. He is the short lease king, Mr. Jason Patterson.
Thank you for the intro.
Well, you were about to clap for yourself then, didn't you?
No, clapping for yourself, for you. It's a nice intro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. No, honestly, one city, as soon as it came out, I said, we're finally here.
Yeah.
Finally, and it hasn't been a fault of yours. I'll just say, listen, I don't want to expose myself, but I kind of, flopped on what you're saying. So I'm definitely my fault. But bro, I'm so glad that you're finally in the studio, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming here. So I didn't tell you this. It's a little secret, but everything else is free flow on the podcast. Right? Okay. But we have got two set questions. Yeah. The very first one and the last one. Okay. Yep. So let's get into this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what does success actually mean to you?
For me, success means having the freedom of time. Yeah. So doing what you want, when you want, with who you want. Yeah. So freedom of time. Money helps you to get there, i.e. buy a property or wherever your business you got. But for me, it's property. It's giving me the freedom of time. You have to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. Yeah. And then with my goals in relation to that, because success is different for different people. For me, is to have a nice minimum of 4 decent holidays a year with myself and my family, having a nice car, which managed to achieve, having a nice house, which is decent as well, and then just having the time, the freedom of time, and just to be able to live comfortably. That's in my eyes what I call success, as well as obviously having good health. That part I can control to an extent, going to the gym, eating well, etc., etc. Yeah, but those are the main things, including good health. That for me defines success.
I love that, bro. Anyone who actually follows you, you can see that in the way that you live, right? You can see that you're free. You do what you want. You've got a lot of flexibility. You move around, do a lot of networking, and all those things might look like work, and actually it is work. But you can only do that if you have the flexibility, you have the job. Now, a lot of people want to go and network and do all this sort of thing, but they can't,
because of work.
You know what I'm saying? It's it's at 6 o'clock in the morning, or it's at 5 p.m., or it's at 12 p.m. It's like, I'm going to be at work or whatever it is, right? So, I can definitely reflect on your line, talk about the nice car. So I don't want to expose your tin, but the Bentley, come on.
I used to dream, because obviously I've had, my first car was a Corsa. When I had the BM E36 with the IS M3 kit on it.
That's a big jump though still.
Yeah, I know. I thought I'd treat myself. And then after that, I had the BM E46 convertible. And now obviously got the Bentley. Yeah. I used to dream it all the time. When you just walking along or driving along and when you see a Bentley, you're like, oh, Bentley. I said one day I have to get one of them. Yeah. I didn't know how, but I'm going to get it.
And you know what? That's what I actually love about your content, because you show that you can tell that, first of all, you like cars, but you can also tell that you love Bentleys. You know what I'm saying? You're always in the studios, you're always, I don't know whether that's for you, whether it's just a visualization tool. But you're always in those garages, you're always checking out new cars, testing out the new versions of Bentleys coming out.
Exactly.
And so, I was just making calculations in my head, like, raw, like, I know this guy had a dream of having a Bentley one day, and now he's actually got it. Like that's must be an incredible feeling, right?
Yeah, to visualize it, dream it. Obviously, some people got a dream board. I mean, part of it, or as well, some people have like me. You measure it by you treat yourself every so often. So I said, right, as soon as I get to above 20 properties, I want to treat myself to a new car. I think I deserve it. Yeah. So you got to treat yourself along the way. There's no point in buying, and then all of a sudden something happens and you can't enjoy the trappings of your wealth. So you have to enjoy your journey in terms of purchasing property or going on holidays, wherever it may be, along with treat yourself and your family along your way. Don't just wait till right at the end, because some people might not even make it.
Wow.
So, that's what I say.
Do you know what? That's really, really powerful. Something happened to me. I was going to post about it on Facebook today, and I still might. Something happened to me yesterday, Sunday. I'm playing with my daughter. She likes to play this make-believe. Daddy, pretend you're... Oh, let's pretend I'm this. And it's like, bloody hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, look, pretending so cool. So we're doing this pretending. I was Beth and she was Joe or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, like, Beth, oh yeah, my mom has left me. So I'm at your house and so your mom is going to look after me. And it's weird. It's just an innocent statement that she said, but it just triggered something in me. And I thought, and then she just kind of walked around and I was looking at her and I thought to myself, imagine that situation actually happened where me or her mom, for whatever reason, God forbid, are no longer here and she's been looked after by someone else. But now just picture that other person was horrible.
Yeah, true.
Was a nasty person.
Yeah.
Her whole life. And I was like, this innocent girl, the way she sees life right now, she's really lucky or whatever it is. I'm like, her whole life is going to change.
Yeah.
And these are stories that are out there that have actually happened to people.
Yeah.
And like the way that just motivated me, like, bro, you got to keep pushing. You got to keep doing it. Like, there's got to be in a position where I can have you with a family member or a friend who I trust and make sure that they are financially secure to look after you and never ever be, because no one knows what tomorrow holds, right?
Exactly, yeah. Or put your stuff into a trust, so if anything happens to you, at least you've got something there going forward. And that's important as well, what you said. That's why you make memories along the way. Because no point in waiting until she's, 10, 11, 12, 18, whatever it is. Every so often, treat yourself and your family, do something, make a memory, go Disneyland, go to Dubai, wherever it may be, where we want to go to, yeah? Just enjoy yourself, make memories, and then moving forward. So God forbid anything does happen, it's all up here. Said, oh, remember we went to so-and-so as a family.
The pictures, the videos, all that stuff is there. Right?
Memories.
Bro, you've spoken about 4 holidays a year. You've spoken about big house. You've spoken about Bentleys. But that hasn't all happened today.
Yeah, no.
Right?
No.
And what I like to do, the Need to Succeed podcast, is just really peeling back and saying, it's easy for a lot of people to look at where you are today and say, you know what? Yeah, he's doing this thing and that. Like, it's just, I can't see myself there. That's just, the journey is too long, right? But if someone understands where you started, who you were, then that might actually inspire them to say, well, actually, I'm in that position now. So if he's done it, then it's possible for me as well.
Yep.
So let's just take it back a little bit. Like, who was Jason back in, when he was at school, for example?
Yeah, so me, mum and dad. Well, my mum used to work a lot, should I say, and my gran as well. Dad wasn't around too much. And then they used to leave in the mornings, like early, 8 a.m. till 8 p.m., long shifts. So sometimes I had to go to school by myself, be more independent, that kind of thing.
At what sort of age is this?
This was primary school.
Okay.
So probably year 4, year 5? Yeah, because sometimes my mum did like 6 till 6 shifts. And then by the time I wake up, she's gone. Same with my gran, 8 till 8. Wake up, she's gone. So I had to make the breakfast, do all this, do all that, get ready, go to school and then come back. So I had to be a bit more independent, a bit more mature. And then I used to get like £1 pocket money for food, obviously. But then you spend it, it's gone. So I'm thinking, no, I used to try and make this pound stretch a bit further. So what I used to do after that is buy multi-packs of crisps or Coca-Cola, whatever it may be, drink, and then eventually some boneless chicken.
Bro,
and cook it.
you're exposing your age a little bit, bro. Like, for a pound, what's going on?
Yeah. And then we used to go to school. So I just sold like 4 of them and then keep 2 for myself. So I made my dinner money back, had 2 cans of drink or 2 cans, packets of crisps plus more, which is recycling the cash. So that's the way I've started to grow and think of the entrepreneurial mindset in that sense.
Was that something like why did you make that decision? Is it just like raw, like this is just going, or did you see an example of someone else doing it? Did someone kind of tell you? Did you know you can do this? Like, how did that?
Yeah, no, I saw some people with nice things. So they had nice like trainers or trousers or whatever it was, or jeans, but I couldn't afford it. Mum didn't have the money, so I said I need to somehow. If I'm gonna do it or get them nice things, I got to do it myself. Yeah, I got to find a way of doing it myself, but legally. Yeah, so that's what I thought. Let me try and think of a way of recycling the cash, so I can save up a little bit. Just have the jars of like 1 pence, 2 pence, 5 pence, 10 pence. Any extras, I put them in the jars. I mean, after a while, lots of littles make a lot. There's build up. Come Christmas time, you open it up. Oh, I've got £50, I've got £60. So for a youngster, that's a lot of money. Yeah. It's a lot of coins, but it's a lot of money as well. So I thought, oh, this is a good way of doing it. So I was recycling the cash. And it's only when I look back now, doing the short leases and the flats, I'm doing something similar, whereby I'm putting money in, refurbing it, extending the lease, doing all of that kind of thing, reconfiguring it, and I'm putting out my cash, as much as possible. And then eventually I take all of it out, and then I'm just recycling my cash again. But instead of doing it with cans of Coke and boneless chicken and crisps, I'm doing it with property now.
Okay.
It's like on an adult scale. Yeah, so I started doing that. Obviously, as well, where I grew up was in near Highgate, so the top of North London, not too far from Arsenal. And then there's a road called the Bishops Avenue, N2, all these multi-million-pound houses down there. And you just walk along sometimes after school in my holy trousers and my jack-ups. Trousers too short for me. I used to think, whoa, like, who lives in these houses? What have we got to do to live in these houses? It's crazy. So from then, I started to see wealth, and I said to myself, I want that. Yeah, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I want that. Yeah. And from then, it just started to, I don't know, just started from there with the entrepreneurial stuff, selling, like I said, stuff in the schools. I started to do the CDs. I started selling CDs as well. Not a good thing, yeah. Copying CDs, and then other people started to copy me as well. So I thought, oh, that market's saturated now. So I like a USP. So there's a guy called Ash from down Edmonton Green, and he used to get them from America like early before it hit the shops.
So it's like the hip hop albums.
Yeah, hip hop. Okay, like Biggie, Tupac, Dr. Dre, Snoop, even Jodeci, H-Town, all the old time ones. Yeah? And then he used to get them early. So yeah, every Saturday morning I spent like £40-50 down there, buy them, got my CD copier, copied them all, went into school, selling for a fiver. So one CD cost about £10 that to buy from him, but I'd make a good £20-30 markup on that. Again, so I get my money back plus extra, and I got the CD as well, which is good. So again, recycling the cash. That's always been in my mind, just to recycle the cash.
Amazing. So like when you first started, you were talking about putting all this money into little pots. How did you because these are principles and disciplines that a lot of adults still struggle with, right? Like big men, big women, right? I'm not. It's not to say like it's something that I struggled with as well for a very, very long time. But like as a kid, like how did you get that? Was that instinctual, or was that something that your mom would say, just save up your money, or what? Like how did you have that mindset, develop that habit?
Yeah, it's my gran. My gran's got loads. We go into grandma's house, got a lot of stuff. Yeah. So again, she had loads of jars of like money in them. So I said, Grandma, what's all this? Oh yeah, all the 1 pences, 2 pences, I don't really use that much. I just put them in a jar and save them up. And when at Christmas, I use it for shopping or use it to buy presents and this and that. I said, oh, okay. So I thought, let me just try that at home. So the old jam jars, the small ones first of all, just putting in the extra change from what I was doing in school. And then I just noticed that, again, lots of littles make a lot. At the end of the year, I could treat myself or do something with it. There's opportunity cost with that money. So from then, I started to instill the saving into me. And then after that, I used that to do something else afterwards. Yeah. But it's more, I saw my gran doing it. So I thought, oh, this is a good idea. Rather than just spend it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's amazing because like how did you, obviously you saw your grand doing that and, you know, which kind of makes sense. You know, you see, what they say, monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly.
Right? You don't actually realize how beneficial this is. But you know what, grand's doing this, she's going to buy something on Christmas. So I'm going to do it so I can buy something on Christmas as well, right? For my mom or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got holy shoes. You got, you know what I'm saying, your the ankle swingers. The trousers are swinging by your knees here. Like, at which point are you not thinking, just get myself a new pair of trainers? And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did you maintain that discipline?
Yeah, no, you just, because a lot of us were in the same boat. So, being a school playground, playing football, you diving on concrete. Next
You said everyone's ankles are swinging.
Yeah. There's only a handful of people that could go down there and buy. Back in the day, this in secondary school, like Calcanai and Moschino and Armani was just coming in, and Versace and Valentino. But them guys had the money. I don't know where they got the money from, but they had the money to do it. But us lot, we just simple, just basic clothes from Clark's and the other Marks and Spencers, just durable stuff. We didn't really follow fashion that much. We was into more computer games and wouldn't even talk to the girls then, but just more computer games and making a bit of money from what we was doing.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's only when we get older, that's when we thought, start spending it on ourselves and clothes and that kind of thing. But for now, it's just discipline, save.
Interesting.
And I love counting it.
You love counting the money, yeah. I like that.
I'm a maths man.
So you're gamifying it, right? So would you say it was important because look, you know, other people in an environment where, you know, actually there's this peer pressure, especially in this day and age, bro. Like Instagram, you know, someone was I was listening to, you know, into boxing. Yeah. I was listening to Tunde Njayi and Spencer Ferrer, you know, Stamina for Sale, their podcast just this morning actually. And Tunde was saying, you know how it is, you could be in Peckham and someone could think you're in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
Right, because of the pictures and what you're posting.
Yeah.
You know, so and then you're not comparing this Los Angeles lifestyle to a man that's in the basement of his mom's house, eating Cheetos or whatever. So with that kind of understanding, would you say it was important that your peer group or the people that you surrounded yourself with were actually people who also, you know, did not value, having material things over just, you know, living the day to day? Yeah,
definitely. Because they say the 5 people that you hang around with is basically who you are, basically your circle. So like, again, a lot of mine weren't really interested in designer clothes at that stage. They were just interested in certain things, like I said, just gaming and. Was
that out of luck, or did you curate your friends, or is it just it just happened that way? Like
just gravitated towards it. So I was just normal in school. Wasn't one of the popular boys or anything like that, or I was okay, as in like in terms of being liked, but I was tall for my age, and then everyone just caught me up and passed me. Helps. Yeah. So in the playgrounds, you know, sometimes you get the bullies that try and test you, to play fight you a little bit, just to test your strength out. A lot of them I get on the floor and we just knee them in the chest and say, I won it. So from then, them guys, they didn't touch me. Yeah. And then so I just gravitated towards more the football crowd. Just the normal crowd, not the ones that weren't too popular. Okay. Because the ones that are popular, I don't know. For me, I didn't really fit into that kind of crowd. I was more just the normal, quiet ones, back of the classroom. Nothing too like major, you know what I mean? Yeah,
understand. The reason that's kind of, you know, dwelling on that point is because it is important. You know, there is peer pressure, you know, and typically anyone that's kind of pressuring you to do things that you don't feel comfortable with, then actually that group may not be the group that you actually want to be in. Exactly. You got to be around people that you're comfortable around, you know, that the things that they're doing are not kind of making you feel uncomfortable up to a point, right? And it doesn't matter whether they're your friends or whatever it might be. You feel like, no, but these are my friends. But actually, you know, you got to look at the bigger picture, right? And then these habits, like you said, you know, those little things that you're doing are the things that form the bigger habits in the future that could actually then change your life. But you never know this at the time. True. But the friends that you're around and the things that you guys are doing could have a massive impact on your future, right?
No, you're right. Because a lot of them, like you said, they're just normal people, didn't get into drama, didn't sell in drugs, didn't smoke, didn't drink. They weren't in a gang. I knew the gang lot from the estate or different estates. Yeah. So just say hello to them, this and that, but I just walk straight past. Or we was playing football, sometimes going a bit hard. He's like, what are you doing? But again, because it's a mutual level of respect, but I didn't go with them. I just stayed separate. It's more about the fear. Because if mum finds out that you're in some sort of gang or in trouble with the police,
Yeah, come on.
bamboo stick, belts, whatever it is, iron, whatever's close by.
Hey, don't get your mom retrospectively arrested, bro. Just
no. Yeah, it's all different anyway. You can't touch your children.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's more the fear factor of parents and obviously grandma as well, not to do wrong. Just keep you, in line. But I could have turned that way because obviously Bear's at work a lot. Then I was at home, was just out. I could have got into the wrong crowd easily, but I don't know. I just thought I was bit more sensible rather to just stay clear of them.
It sounds to me, bro, like there was a inner level of like confidence that you had that made it possible for you to just separate yourself from, the things that actually wouldn't lead you astray. Yeah. Is that from spending a lot of time with your grandma, do you think, where you're just getting like these teachings, education, like this is a bad crowd, this is a good crowd, you want to make sure you stay focused? Were you always getting that home?
Yeah, I reckon it's more the fear factor. Like I said,
it was the cane.
Yeah. I didn't get any beats, no beats. So I thought, let me just stay on the straight and narrow.
I hear you.
Rather than, got obviously they're trying to, come and join this gang, blah, blah, blah. But a couple of times I went along with them, but I saw what they were doing. I said, it's not me.
It's not for me.
It's not me.
I love that.
So I slowly just wheeled myself away, wheeled myself back to my normal crowd, computer game crew, just playing FIFA and Street Fighter and Tekken. Yeah, just stayed at home a lot of the time and played football and athletics. So what helped me as well, I suppose, like you said, I was kept busy with after school activities.
Okay.
Because I used to play for 3 separate football teams. And then we had training, depending on what team, 2 or 3 times a week. So almost every day I was playing football or athletics. And then obviously football on the mornings, Sunday mornings, and then Saturday afternoons, midweek down Market Road. And then we had training, like I said, 2-3 times a week. So by the time you finish training and then come back, it's 9-10 o'clock at night. So there's no time to that kind of thing. So
that's good.
I reckon what helps is the activities after school.
Yeah.
Keeps you busy, keeps you occupied.
Yeah.
Keeps you stimulated, and then it keeps you on maybe the straight and narrow as well, hopefully as well.
100%, 100%. Okay, cool, man. So let's talk about property. Like, how did you get started? Like, first of all, when did you get started in property?
First offer that I put on a property was the 4th of June, 2001. 2001. Yeah, 1-bedroom flat, North London, top of North London, a converted flat with a lease of 84 years, I think it was, left on it. Yeah.
Wow, you remember those numbers? It's the first one. That was almost to the day a year after I came to the UK. I came to the UK in 2000, June 24. Actually, no, I left June 24, but it was an overnight flight, so I landed on June 25th. In the UK. But yeah, so a year after that, that's when you actually bought your first property.
Yeah, first one. Yeah,
crazy. So 2001. Wow.
They were completed on the 4th. Is it 4th September or something like that? First week in September. We completed, but again, I didn't know what I was doing. Someone just says to me, it's good to buy a property, because when I was working, someone mentioned it to me. He said, yeah, I've got property, I rent it out, it's in Tottenham, I rent it out, making all right money from it. So I thought, I don't do much to it, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, that's a good way of making some, in theory, passive income, or as passive as can be, rather than sweat labor. So I wanted to eventually have a long-term goal of not working, just have my own financial freedom, control my finances myself rather than via an employee. Because if they control you, then obviously you got sick pay, you got holiday pay, whatever it may be. Pensions. But then if they pensions, and if they want to give you a pay rise, they can. If they don't want to give you a pay rise and inflation's going up, you're technically losing money per year. Or if they want to make you redundant, they can. So I thought I want to try and have more control over my financial future. So I said, start buying property as well. And as well, I wanted to move out of mum's house because I was still living at home. And then,
how old were you at this stage?
Early 20s, about 22, 23, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, but I couldn't, with my wages that I was getting, it wasn't enough to move out of mum's house. I didn't want to move out and then ask her for £50 for petrol or raving money or whatever. I didn't want to ask her for that. I said, I need to be financially secure myself.
Stable, yeah.
Rather than move out. I mean, I can't support myself. And asking her, like I said, for petrol money and food money and electric bill money. No, ways to be self-sufficient.
Yeah. So how do you go about then? If I'm guessing your income was quite low. How do you go about thinking, okay, well, I'm going to go and buy a house. I can't even feed myself or go raving. I'm going to go buy a house. Were you okay?
Yeah, exactly. No, I done my research. Again, it's little seeds that happened which eventually led up to me buying the first one. I was seeing this girl at the time. I mean, her mum was in the garden just chilling with her feet up. This is in the middle of the afternoon, like just reading the paper or whatever it was, or magazine actually. She was like, so I said, "Oh, your mum's here in the garden, just chilling. It's the middle of the afternoon. Doesn't she have work?" And then she said, "No, she rents out property and then just use the income from that as her wages." So I was like, "Oh, okay." That's when I was younger. That's when I first got first planted in my mind. And then moving forward now, one of my old work colleagues, he was seeing a girl and then he split up with her and then he moved back to mum's house. And then he rented his flat out down in Tottenham. So he said, "Yeah, I rented it out, getting like £500, £600 a month from it, plus my wages." So I was like, "Oh, that's a nice idea." So I said, "All right then, let me start trying to save for a deposit somehow, just to try and get my first one." So I went into the old bank. This is called Cheltenham and Gloucester. It's not even around no more.
I know Cheltenham and Gloucester. Yeah.
So I said to him, I said, "I'd like to, like, how do you go about buying a property? Like, how do you do it?" And then this is my wages. I was like 17 grand a year, 16 grand a year. And the guy just laughed, boy. Like, just laughed in my face. He said, "Well, on your wages, I don't think you could afford anything." Even now, we look back, it's still unaffordable for some now, isn't it? For house, yeah. You know, he just laughed in my face and he said, "Oh, look, this is what you need. You need at least 10% deposit or 15% deposit if you're doing a buy-to-let, or if you're doing a residential, you need 5% deposit. Yeah, and may time your wages by 4.5 or 5. So I started to learn and understand this. I was thinking, okay. So I started to kill the overtime, Sainsbury's, day shift, night shift, and triple shifts. Saturdays, as you probably heard already, I used to get time and a half on a Saturday, double pay Saturday night, because it rolled into Sunday. I mean, you get Sunday premium as well. So then, and then I used to work Sundays after football, come back and do evening shifts for pull-outs, the triple shifts all the time, even during the week, just smashed it for like a while.
Wow.
Cut back on the raving a little bit.
How long for?
I reckon about 2 years, 2.5 years.
Wow.
Something like that, yeah. I was just stacking. Not much, but I was stacking. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, because I was just a normal person there, like on the shop floor. So I wasn't a manager or anything. Then eventually I had enough to get the first deposit. Went back to the Halifax, said, yeah, got enough to pay the mortgage, this and that. And then I managed to buy my first one. And then I just rented it out after that.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, this is all right. An extra 500, 600 pounds coming in my pocket. That's like a quarter of my wages, basically, from all of my wages together, because I'm more than one job. A quarter. So I was thinking, why don't more people do this? Yeah. And then save. Yeah, about £500 plus my wages, blah, blah, blah. And then about a year and a little bit extra after, a year and a half after that, watching the BBC News. I mean, interest rates, let me say, house prices have risen by a total of 18% over the last like 2 years, whatever it was. I was like, whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot. So I went back to the finance broker. He said to me, yeah, but you can pull out money. So I was like, really? So yeah, your house going up in value, you can pull out money. So I was like, I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, I didn't know you could remortgage. I thought you just buy the flat and then just leave
That's it. Yeah.
But he started to school me a little bit. I said, yeah, your one's gone up by X amount. You can pull out 30 grand out of it. But I was saving at the same time. So I used my savings plus the uplift, plus my rental income, plus the income from my jobs. I mean, I managed to buy 3 properties at
the same time.
Same time, yeah.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, this is all right. So he showed me, basically, that's my old mortgage broker as well. It gave me a little bit of guidance back in the day. He's like, Jason, probably heard this story already anyway. He's like, Jason, how old are you? Told him, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, a lot of people out there, your age, raving, going to iron up, blah, blah, blah. So that's all right, I'm still doing all of that. But at the same time, I want to build a property portfolio as well on the side. And then he showed me around some of his developments, because he had retired for the 3rd time. And he got bored. He come out of retirement for the 4th time to come back into mortgage broking. Yeah. So he took me around one of his sites at Edmonton and said, yeah, this is a BRR. So I was thinking, you need to try and say, what's BRR? I was like, what does that mean? So buy, refurb, refinance, rent. This is what bought me my Mercedes, because he had a nice Mercedes. Nice. I was like, whoa. Yeah. So he's telling me, yeah, he bought it, done it up, refinance, use some of that cash to buy his Mercedes. He's like, Jason, I've been doing this for years now. Thinking of retiring again for the 4th time. So I was thinking, I want your life, yeah? Just working for fun, yeah? When you work for fun, it's good. So, yeah, so he showed me the ropes a little bit, and I just started growing from there bit by bit by bit. But then I was just doing normal vanilla buy-to-lets, and I moved over to refurbs after I learned a little bit from him. and then reconfiguration of the flats, like studios to one beds to two beds, two beds to three beds. I mean, now obviously do a lot of short leases, but I just stacking little by little, 1, 2 or 3 a year, 1, 2, 3 a year, 1, 2, 3 a year. I mean, it just lot to littles make a lot. It just grows. So every time you're buying, again, depending on the rates of interest, it's like £500, £600, £500, £600. Then before you know it, it's 10 grand, 10 and a half, 11, 11 and a half, 12, 12 and a half, 13. So it's just
growing in the right direction.
Yeah.
Plus the equity in the properties as well.
Exactly. Rather than just doing like bigger projects. So maybe I'm just set in my ways now. So just again, but the philosophy lots of little make a lot.
If it's working for you, you've been doing it for a long time, then you don't necessarily. I mean, you're comfortable with it. Yes, there's always other strategies, but this is the problem you actually get in the industry because there are so many different ways to make money from property.
That's it.
And as a result of that, people are looking at all of the different ways instead of saying, "I'm going to focus on this one. I'm going to get really, really good at this, and then when I master this and I start making a good enough income from this, I can then decide if I want to look at anything else. But until then." Focus on one.
Exactly. Because of the plan, similar to what you said, was to do flats for now. They move on to houses. They maybe do some developments, more developments of flats. That was the plan. But then I got stuck in my ways. But it's all right.
There's something that really, really important to what you said, but I didn't want to stop you. I just wanted you to, because you were flowing. So let me just let him flow. Yeah. But to me, in my perception, something happened when you were told that you can make money through property. But when you sat down with that banker who laughed at you, but then said, well, actually, if you want to do this, this is what you need.
Yeah.
And it's like, as soon as you had that, there was a goal. The goal is, I'm going to buy property. This is the type of value of property that I'm looking at. And as a result of that, I need to save up this amount of money. And you just went to work.
Yeah, targets.
I'm going to do overnights. I'm going to do shifts. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And in 2 years' time, you actually got to that. Because the reality as a young man, you said all your friends going to Napa, going raving, all that. You were still doing that, but you literally paid it right down because you had the focus.
Exactly.
Like, this is what we're trying to get to.
Exactly.
How much importance do you place on, people actually having a plan or at least having a destination of where they're trying to get to?
Yeah, that's important. It's definitely imperative because that instills the discipline into your journey. So some days, for example, if you're going to the gym, some days you're on it, like you're ready. I mean, other times you're like, oh, I can't bother to go. But it's a discipline because you got a goal, a target, wherever it may be, and you drive towards it. Yeah. So you definitely got to stay on track, regardless of what happens. Any like lose your job or might split with your partner or wherever it may be. You've got to go there. It's a minor setback. Refocus, refresh, go back on the back again, and then just go. That's what I say. So even though no journey is going to be smooth, so obviously whatever happens, just I don't know, just think of a goal in mind, have a dream board, whatever it may be. You're going to get some kinks in the road. Just try and put it behind you. Try and readjust, and then move forward again.
Yeah.
Even with the baby steps. Some days you might take baby steps. Sometimes you might take like massive leaps and think, oh, maybe this is working now, but you got to make it on luck as well.
Absolutely.
Anyway, yeah.
I think it was, I don't know if you've listened to this, it's like a 30-minute, I guess you'd call it like an audio, but back then they weren't doing audio, but this Elle Nightingale, The Stranger's Secrets.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard it yet.
No. Yeah.
But in that he talks about, imagine, getting into a ship, right? And, you've got no destination and there's no captain, on that ship. And there's another one that's got a destination, it's got a captain. We don't know for sure because listen, even the one with a captain can go into the river, hit something, or I'm saying there was a crazy thunderstorm and it capsizes. But we would all agree that one has a stronger chance of actually getting to his destination.
True.
Apart from the one that's, has got no ship, has got no destination, tapped into like a sat nav and it's just floating. That's probably just going to crash somewhere, right? That's the likelihood. And it's the same as, having a goal. Because once you have the goal to the destination, then you become the captain.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you have no destination, then it doesn't need a captain.
True.
But once you have a goal and you have a captain, now you can steer around and there's going to be tough terrain. There's going to be difficulties that you come across, but you're going to just navigate them until you eventually get to that destination, right?
That's what it is, yeah.
And that's the key thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Got to put effort in. Good days, bad days. Not a Rolls Royce. Moving forward, like I said, Sainsbury's, they do some difficult shifts, go and do trolleys in the rain, doing like the frozen foods. You're thinking, why am I doing this? You're thinking, is it worth it? But then mentally, you gotta be mentally strong and say, look, just keep on going. It's worth it. And then you got the naysayers thinking, oh, what are you still doing in Sainsbury's? No, you shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? And you're thinking, am I doing the right thing here? Is my plan like not going to work? Is it a bit crazy? Blah, blah, blah. And then when you see it come to fruition now, bit by bit, some of them people said to me, oh, you know what? You're right to stay in Sainsbury's. I see the bigger picture now. Yeah? So you got to be mentally strong just to move forward in that sense. But I was listening to one of the Stephen Bartlett podcasts with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
And he said something about people sometimes think you're delusional. With what you're doing, they're thinking, oh, this guy is delusional. He thinks he's going to get to 20 properties, 30 properties, 40 properties. This guy thinks he's delusional. How are you going to do it? And you're working in Sainsbury's. Or how are you going to become a millionaire and you're working in Sainsbury's or doing this, doing that? But so when you get to your goal now, people are thinking, oh, you know what? This guy was right. So that means I wasn't delusional in the first place, yeah? But it looks like you are delusional. Because, you know what I mean? So when you see people like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and all these other guys, Warren Buffett and blah, blah, these guys are building massive, mega billion-pound companies. Amazon guy as well, from his garage. He was like, yeah, one day I'm going to be a millionaire. One day I'm going to sell the books to the whole world. And the reporter's like,
books.
Books, exactly. yeah. Forward like 20, 30 years later, richest man in the world. Yeah. Crazy. So sometimes, even though you might sound delusional, the vision in your mind and the goal, you can obviously try and work towards it if you can. I mean, you just prove yourself and other individuals wrong. So you use that negative energy, turn it into positive, and you move forward that way. Yeah. When you see people like as well, Andreas Paniotto from back in the day, he managed to acquire over 8,000 flats. Yeah. So imagine having 8,000 flats, yeah, and you're earning £600 just on average of each flat. That's 4.8 million coming in per month. Yeah. Another example, lots of littles make a lot. Yeah. So obviously I won't get to 8,000. You never know, but I won't get to 8,000. But at least you can see that it works. Yeah. And then you sold them and went into hotels, but it does work. So other people do the other method where they go big. Like you got Anthony, he does like big deals only, like big chunks. Yeah. So he does that method. So everyone's got their own little style, and whatever works for them is good for obviously for them. But
100%. That's the key thing. Like I said, all the strategies work. It's just, first of all, what's your goal? What's your intention? What are you trying to achieve? What works best for you based around, the quality and the type of life that you want to live, right? Like for you say, you want the freedom, you want the flexibility to do what you want when you want. So, that a certain strategy is going to appeal to that. Like buy to let, right? Once you bought it, stick someone in there, boom. It's an easy life, right? It gives you flexibility to go and do all the stuff that you want. So it's like, what do you want, and are you willing to actually do what it takes to achieve that?
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's the key thing. But there's a key message to what you, a key point to what you made there, which is when you set out your goal and other people try to deter you from your goal. First of all, that doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. It's just a reflection on their belief on their ability or their perception of your ability to achieve that goal.
That's it.
It's not a reality. It's their belief on themselves or a perception of what you can do. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's neither positive or negative. All that matters is you're the one that set that intention.
Yep.
You have a clear understanding of what it's going to take for you to achieve that. And as long as you're willing to do what it takes, then it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
Exactly that. I know what you mean, because people say, oh, you can't have a Bentley as an everyday car. Like, you need 2 or 3 cars. But my Bentley is my everyday car. 5 years now, like just you know what I mean? Can be done. You know what I mean? Yeah, so you just obviously set the foundations, monetary wise and everything else. And then from then, make sure it's sustainable as well, and then move forward. Because you don't want to get a nice car or a nice house, and then a year or 2 later, you have to give it back because you haven't thought it through. Yeah. One thing buying it, I mean, it's another thing maintaining it.
Well, the tires,
exactly,
the rims,
exactly.
and if you jump all of these things, like, yo, hang on, what's going on here? So 100% agree with that. What would be your advice to, someone who's, starting off today when they get started in property? What's Jason telling them?
Right. So again, have some form of dream board or vision, or write them down, either one. And then, depending on how much cash you have, you could easily start out in terms of rent to rents or deal sourcing, potentially lease option agreements or a JV with someone. If you don't have much cash there, rent to rent will bring in your cash flow. It's not easy to start off with, because obviously you do some as well, right? Rent to rents.
Yeah.
It's not easy to start with. For every 100 people that you contact, or your landlords, you might get 1 or 2 out of them. Mm-hmm. But those 1 or 2 might have 10, 20, 30 properties. You don't know. Yeah. So keep on going in that sense. Get your rent to rents there. Put up a cash flow per month. If you can manage to get, 4, 5, 6 rent to rents, if you can, whether it be rent to rent HMO, rent to rent SA, build up that cash flow, and maybe a bit of dual sourcing as well. And then you can use that towards purchasing your own property, moving forward. And if you do have cash, whether it be 50 grand, 100 grand, wherever it may be, then obviously go onto socials, LinkedIn, YouTube, listen to podcasts, go to networking events, etc., and then, like I said, listen to some of the strategies. I know some people get bogged down because there's so many different ones you can choose. You're like, it's too many, I'm overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But try and choose one that suits your personality, your goals, and your lifestyle. Because some people are more hands-on than others. Like me, I'm more hands-off-ish. Mm-hmm. Whereas others, like I said, you got to be a bit more involved rather than just letting it, buy it, rent it, that's it. So it depends on what you want. But if you go onto the socials, networking, events, listen to podcasts, try and decide on a strategy or 2 that you think is best for you. If you have the cash there, and then start pursuing that in that sense. It's with a 50 grand, 100 grand, moving forward.
Okay, cool. So let's say I've got 50 grand, 100 grand. I want to buy a property. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to do. I don't want to do like rent to rent or deal sourcing or whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. What would be my first 3 steps that you think I should take?
All right. So one, we'll choose the strategy first. Yeah. Whether it be short leases or a little commercial to resi, which is obviously quite popular nowadays, something like that. Or if you're one of them people that want lots of littles make a lot, because say you got 100 grand there, in theory, you could buy 4 25 grand deposit stamp duty houses up in like north somewhere, and then maybe you recycle some of that cash flow over a period of time. It's better cash flow, but not as much capital appreciation, but at least you got 4 on the board there. So in theory, 4 lots of potential capital appreciation, 4 lots of income coming in. Or that 100 grand, 50 to 100 grand there, you might think, right, you know what? I'm going to do that, get something where I can add value. Yeah. So whether it be, like I said, a short lease or a small commercial to resi, if I can maybe start it off with a bridge or development finance. It's your first one, but get some help. It's development finance, yeah?
You development finance. What is he talking about?
Yeah. No.
So the first one is get the knowledge.
Get the knowledge. Yep, straight away. And then choose a strategy that you prefer. And then after that, maybe you're right, probably start off something small rather than anything too heavy. Like I said, like a short lease or refurb a house with a BRR. But with the 50 grand or 60 grand won't be enough really to do it around here, like in London. Have to be somewhere a bit further out. Maybe, I don't know, Kent or somewhere on the outskirts of Birmingham, something like that. Like Midlands, possibly. But 50 grand, you're going to need a bit more, I reckon. Okay. But short lease, you can do it.
I was going to say, let's talk about short leases, because I've got the short lease king in the house, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. First of all, like, why is this even a strategy? What is a lease?
Yeah. So basically, all the flats either come with a share of the freehold or a lease.
What does a freehold mean?
So basically, you got houses, yeah, and then a lot of houses, not all of them, but a lot of houses are built on land which you can own when you buy the actual house. Now, there are some houses whereby there are leasehold houses, right? And there's are leases on them. Now, that means even flats. What that means is the land that is on, you do not own. You own, or you're leasing, should I say, the property on that land for an X amount of time. Whether it be 99 years, 125 years.
So even if I've bought a property and I've given these people my hard-earned money, typically, so I can buy a property, a flat for £300,000. I'm giving them a hard and £300,000. So what you're saying is a lease is that actually the land that property sits on, I don't own that property. I don't own that land. So let's say there's a 99-year lease term on that property. After 99 years, that property is not going to my daughter. It's going back to whoever actually owns that land.
Correct. Yeah. If you don't extend it.
What kind of 419 is this?
I know. It's English law. Yeah. Same. A lot of places around the world, even in Dubai, similar. You don't own the land that it's on. You own the flat or the apartment, but you don't own the land that it's on. So eventually, at some point, you might have to give it back. But 99 years or 125 years, you can always extend it afterwards. Yeah. But over your lifetime, that's enough for you to live and do what you have to do. You know what I mean? Go on your 4 holidays, buy a car, buy a nice house, look after your family.
Doesn't that take away from, so for example, a lot of people get into property wanting, generational wealth and they want to be able to pass a legacy. I'm guessing, you got a daughter, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to, son?
Yeah.
Son or daughter?
Son.
Oh, you got a son. Okay, cool. Yeah. I slipped up on that one. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You've got a son. I'm guessing a lot of this you want to kind of pass down to him. So if you're saying, okay, the lease is 99 years, 1 to 5, it's going to outlive me. Yeah, but I want to pass that on to my family. So how does that work?
Yeah, so what I've been doing is extending them either to 125 years, 990, or 999.
Okay.
So that's a good 10, 15,
so
20
you're allowed
generations.
to actually extend, the leases, so you don't need for them to run down.
Exactly.
You can actually extend them at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, and is this what you specialize in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So same with the Crown and the royal family. They do all of that. They got a lot of leasehold and freehold property, and then they put them into trusts, and then they pass them on to the next generation, and so on.
So why does this need like a special skill then? It just is something that it runs down. I can just extend it. Why is this like a special skill?
A lot of people are scared. Because like you said, people prefer freehold because you own the land that it's on. They don't want to have a situation whereby in 99 years, they won't be around anyway, but in 99 years, they have to give the property back if that person doesn't extend it. Yeah. So they like the security of having freehold. But you can still live your life and still earn an income off leasehold because not everyone can afford freehold, especially if you're in and around London. A lot of the time, it's what you can afford, like leasehold. Yeah. You just
said something interesting. You said if the person doesn't decide to extend it, so after you've bought a house and you've got the lease and you want to extend it, the person who owns that land can they decide that they're not going to extend it?
No. By law, they have to extend it.
Okay.
So at the moment, there's 2 different ways you can do it. There's the voluntary method where you can extend the lease. There's no time limits on that one. Then there's the Section 42 method. Now, the Section 42, as it stands, you have to own a property for at least 2 years before you can apply to extend the lease. And then you can extend it by 90 years with something called peppercorn ground rent, which means 0 ground rent. Yeah, so that's by law. You have to extend. You're allowed to extend it by law. You can't just. Freeholder can't just say no. Sorry, not extending it, and then it runs down. No, so by law. I mean,
so the 419 is not as bad. It's just 41.
Yeah, exactly. That's 4-1. Yeah, just 4-1. Or just even 4. Because by the time you extend it once, then that to 999 or 990, that's
you're
generations.
Good. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no need to worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is interesting. So this is what I wanted to kind of get the message, because I know this is something that you specialize in. I used to work for like an investment firm, right? So I understand this really, really well, and I've just thought this is the biggest scam.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? Like this is, and when you go back to the actual inception of leases, it is literally just a scam, because there's no reason why it should still be enforced today. It was just how like landowners, farmers used to actually deal with themselves. They'll lend you the farm to actually grow crops for a certain period of time. And now developers just started doing it. And oh, okay, we can make a bit of money doing this, right? It's crazy, right? Which is insane. But the reason I'm asking you those questions is because like I wanted people to actually understand how it works, and like you said, it isn't actually scary. There are laws, and there's more laws coming in, and it's actually just been new ones that's come out recently. That essentially means like you're good. Right? You just need to kind of know what you're doing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's going towards freehold, but it's not really freehold. Like I said, with the Section 42 rules, with the King's Speech, instead of extending your lease by 90 years, it can be to 990 if they enforce that through. So, like I said, it's almost like a freehold, but not quite, because obviously you still got to pay the actual building or the ground it's on. You don't really own, but you can have it for the rest of your life and 15 generations.
I mean, that's
forward.
1,000 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, jeez.
It's long enough.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to worry about that. That's amazing. And like, you've been able to carve out like an opportunity within that space for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Can you just tell us? Because I remember when you because you've the short list is what you've done, but you've actually started helping people, to do this now. Just tell me, like, why did you decide actually, I need to show people how to do this? What was that like? What triggered you to do that?
Yeah, so basically, as you probably heard already, one of my previous podcasts, the guy that helped me, the mortgage broker AJ, again, he didn't have to help me. I went in there, said I wanted to buy 3 properties, please. He looked at me, blah, 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 showed me what he's doing and blah, blah. But he just said to me, look, I'm giving you this for free, yeah. Helping you, give you some guidance, yeah. And then going forward, if anyone else asks you for help, just give them a little bit of guidance along their journey. I mean, I just thought of it, I was thinking, wow, that's a good idea. So that's where the reach one, teach one strategy came in. Yeah. Wow. So everyone that I meet, give me a little bit of guidance if I can, a little bit of pointing in the right direction. And then that person, once I feel that they're comfortable, got a bit of traction or a bit of direction, like I say to them, look, you move forward now. What you've learned, pass on to someone else and then help them along their journey. So I give them that initial induction in terms of moving forward. I mean, like 20 years on now, still giving people a bit of guidance on socials, Instagram, networking events, people in the gym. I mean, if they want to go further and they need some hand holding, should I say, yeah, that's where I do like mentoring or deal analysis or like the course that I've got as well. So if I want to take it further, then I can obviously do paid stuff moving forward. But initially, people that I meet, I just say, just send me a voice note. If you've got 2-3 questions that you want to understand or know about, just send me a voice note, 2-3 questions, and then I'll just voice note you back with the answers. So just helping people. So the reach one, teach one strategy.
Bro, that's beautiful, man.
Because some people, what I found when I was younger, I started to get more and more developed, and a lot of people,
gatekeepers,
they're closed. They didn't want to tell me anything. It's like, oh, so how do you do this? How do you do that? Well, if I told you, I'd have to kill you. So I was like, what? Yeah, but they told me nothing.
End the conversation there.
Kept it quiet. I was like, what's the big secret? Just tell people what you do, try and help them to get on the right path, or give them this introduction, or show them this, you know what I mean? Just help them a little bit. But now, with social media out there, there's a lot more help and free resources available where people can obviously get help. But some people still hug the information to their chest. Just tell people there's enough properties out there for everyone. Enough properties. If there's a limited supply, there is a limited supply, but not like too limited.
No.
But enough for everyone.
There's not enough people who even look at property as a business or as an investment strategy.
Yeah.
Those that do, there's a huge amount of opportunities,
exactly.
For us.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're in something, you almost kind of feel like it's saturated. I did a piece of content actually just before you arrived, and I was saying, I'm so excited to actually be part of the service accommodation industry because this is an industry that is still at its infancy, and people don't realize that this is new. When you look at Airbnb, they only made their first profits just 4 years ago. It's a company that it's growing. It's on a growth curve. It's actually going this way. But a lot of people say, oh, this is saturated. That's because you're in it. But when you're able to sort of zoom out and look at it from the outside, you realize, well, actually, this is still new. We're nowhere near, what the hotels are doing in terms of the volume that the hotels are doing. We have a better product, than what the hotels do. But right now, they're still dominating this space. So actually, we're just catching up with them, right? But when people are in it, they just think, oh, no, it's too much, it's too saturated.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's probably, like I said, there's more opportunities as well in terms of Airbnb at booking.com, in terms of, obviously you've got roomlets and buildings and so forth, but there's some people can be more creative. They might have a barn, for example, and they might have a theme. Yeah, because I was speaking to someone about this 2-3 months ago, because she works on a farm, and she was like, yeah, I got some barns which are just sitting there empty. So I was thinking, I can do some Airbnb with the barns.
100%.
Valentine's Day is coming up, or glamping, or all that kind of stuff, or know what I mean? Or Halloween, I can do specialist.
Unique experience.
Yeah, exactly. Unique experience. Yeah, by Airbnb. So it's still growing in terms of intimacy, like what you were saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just be more creative.
Absolutely. But bro, like this has been such a really, really good conversation, and I'm so glad that we're able to have this chat. What I love is, genuinely, the conversation we've had is the reason why I started this podcast, right? Getting people to understand, like, it's called the need to succeed, right? And that's why I kept asking you this question at the start, because like your journey is, a lot of people actually don't go down your route, because a lot of people, I was one of those, you get distracted when you're younger, you go down the wrong direction, you're making mistakes. But, the reason why you've been able to achieve what you've achieved so quickly is because you stayed focused, you stayed disciplined, and, even when you could have been doing things that were easier at that time. But listen, big man, now things are a bit easier.
Exactly.
And people are still grinding. Right? And this is the age where you should be like just, living life a little bit, all the bones are a bit weaker, all of this. Now people are still having to work hard. But in those younger ages, those younger years, you worked hard, you put in the grind, and now you can actually have what you want. So I love that. And I want people to just sort of take that away from this. Like, look, especially the younger lot, now's the time to grind. Now's the time to grind. It might be more difficult because everyone else around you don't have that mindset. But if you're able to stay disciplined and have that mindset, the world is your oyster.
Yeah, put in the work when you're early, when you're young, and exactly what you said. As you get older, got the foundations there, got the assets there, you can ease off and relax a bit, start to enjoy life a bit more.
100%.
But putting the grind in the beginning, because a lot of individuals nowadays, they got that job snobbery. They don't want to work for certain incomes and miss about. But there's not out there's a whole new world, social media. You can make money online. So if you don't want to go out there and work in Sainsbury's or Tesco or Co-op, it's fine. Try and do something online, social media or tech or something just to earn some money. eBay, sell stuff, clothes, old stuff. Just recycle. Because that's like the digital age nowadays, isn't it?
The opportunities are there.
Yeah, opportunities are there. It's way more than what we had back in the day. So at least do something. Put in the work now. 10, 15 years time, you can relax a bit more and say, I'm set.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll come to that point, which is the final question, right? Because, bro, like with everything that you've done, bro, like it's really, really inspiring. Like genuinely, really, really inspiring. Seeing someone like live out their dreams, but also not just someone living a dream, but someone who's putting the graft, putting the work to actually achieve the things that they set out to. Like, these stories are not that common. Right, so it's really, really inspiring. Just congratulations and well done for what you do. And then even the paying it forward thing, bro. Like, we do content. I get it. Those messages, like the fact that you're encouraging people to send you free of them, like
just help them.
It's you know what I'm saying, that's a lot of your time. I know that for sure. So massive congratulations for doing that. But with everything that you've achieved, what remains your need to succeed?
Now, obviously, again, it relates down to goals. There's one more piece to the jigsaw. But even when I get it, which is like a new palatial house, like massive. Not the ones down Bishop's Avenue, but, not too far off. Once I get that, which is close, I'll probably still go. But it's just the hunger in me, the doing the deals. I don't know, just I just love the industry in that sense. So I don't reckon I'll ever get bored of it. But the thing is, what is a bit more challenging, you hit your goals, and then after that you're thinking, right, what next? Sometimes I think you peak too early. So you got to try and reinvent yourself, set yourself a new kind of challenge. That's why I go do some mentoring and helping people out and so forth. So I'm thinking, right, got all this knowledge, I'm going to try and help other people to be successful as well, if I can. Yeah, so I'm using this in a certain way, like in a positive way. So the hunger, once I get the other house, and then helping people move forward, and obviously my son, got to try and integrate him into the business a little bit if he wants to. He might have his own little route, we'll see. But I get him on board.
Get him started early.
Yeah, exactly impossible. So but the hunger's still there. So that's basically it, I think. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Jason Patterson, Thank you very much.
Thanks for the invite. It's been fun.
You are listening to the Need to Succeed podcast with Ibrahim Braimah. Make sure to like and subscribe for more episodes like this.